Hello guys, welcome to Forex with Ndombi. If you just stumbled upon this podcast, thank you for tuning in. You're welcome. I hope you like it here. Please feel free to check out my previous episodes, especially the first episode, which was an introduction, because you need to understand what to expect from this channel. And thank you so much again for listening to this episode. Hey Forex with Ndombi residents, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back. Today's episode is about how to master your trading method and become the best. Guys, no one has ever become the best at what they do without practicing. No one has ever become the best at what they do without continuous practice. It is all about continuous practice, consistent practice, then you become the best at what you do. So today's episode is all about that. So back in 2009, when I started trading, I wasn't trading like I am trading today. Today, I am not trading like I was trading back in 2009 because I spent like 3 years just trying to figure out how I wanted to, to trade. Obviously, I also had to find something that would accommodate my lifestyle and my personality. Please do check out the previous episode on that topic, on why you should ensure that whatever you do or however you trade, you do not ignore your personality and your lifestyle, because you get really frustrated if you are doing stuff that are not aligned to those two. So coming back to spending the 3 years, just trying to find, besides just trying to find myself, I was also just trying to understand how the markets work. So eventually, I then did find out that, this is how I would like to trade. It accommodates me, it accommodates my personality, it accommodates my lifestyle. It also allows me, to do other things, because I don't want to be this person who wakes up in the morning and randomly, try to figure things out in the markets and try to find trading opportunities randomly. I am not a random person. I love doing stuff, I love organizing, stuff. I don't like to just do stuff randomly. So I had to find a way that was now okay for me. I don't know how you guys trade. I don't know the strategies that you use, but I'm just going to, of course, relate to how I trade. So this episode will be about how I trade, but then everything that I'm sharing here, you can then take it to, your own trading strategy, how you trade, and also ensure that how you trade, you are actually becoming the best at how you trade. I know I have become the best at how I trade. I know it. If you don't believe me, you can ask my mentees. Of course, you can ask some of them, because, being successful is something that is personal. You can all attend the same sessions, do the same thing, get the same attention, but results will always vary, because obviously there's a lot that goes in, to trading. It's not just, about strategies and stuff, but I know that I have become the best at how I trade. So I'm going to share a few tips on how I became the best at how I trade. Once I had decided that, okay, this is how I want to trade. Basically, this is how I want to trade. This is how I trade, in case you didn't know. I do not just wake up in the morning and decide that, today I want to trade USD because I feel like it. I don't just wake up and randomly decide to trade Australian dollar, or randomly decide to trade gold or Nasdaq or any other instrument. Everything that I trade, it is guided by my 3 W's. Why am I trading it? What am I trading, and when am I trading it? That is how I trade. That is why I am able to do other stuff other than just trading. That is why I am able to train other people, teach other people, focus on teaching them, focus on my account as well. It is because I have found a way that is accommodative of my lifestyle and my personality. Not only that, it is the way that actually works perfect for me. So I haven't changed how I trade since 2012. I did 2009 to 2012. I was still just trying to find myself. Then from 2012 up to 2021, I have been trading exactly the same way, following my 3Ws. So because I follow my 3Ws, I know when I will trade, I know what I will trade, and I know why I will trade. So for me, it's easier because of how I trade. So because I trade like that, I also have like economic news that I follow. I also have like geopolitics that I follow. So anything that is happening in the markets that will move the markets, I am there, I am following. It is not a rocket science, guys. It's quite easy. It is quite easy. It gets easier. It gets easier as you do, because obviously you get better at what you do with consistent doing. You keep on doing, then you will see you become better at it. So because of that, it's easier for me to plan my trades. So now I have been doing the same thing, exactly the same thing. I just keep on upping my game, keeping up with the markets, because obviously back in 2012 there was no Brexit. So how I traded in 2012, but I'm still using the same trading method of following my 3Ws. But how I follow my 3Ws, obviously I have to keep on keeping up because of the things that are currently happening in the market. Back in 2012 we didn't have this COVID. Back in 2012 we didn't have Brexit. It only happened in 2016. So you can imagine the changes that I have seen in the markets. But throughout all these changes, I haven't changed how I trade. I still follow my 3Ws. That is how you become the best at at how you trade, because the more you do it is the more you get better at it. So with my method of trading, I follow the interest rates. I know that on this day, this particular central bank is releasing their interest rate, then I'm going to be following that. Remember, my trading is based on my 3Ws. You can always just look at your own trading method and try to implement what I implemented. I don't know if it's gonna be easier for you to do that, but I think it is, because this is just something that I feel however you trade, you can always implement it, so that you get better or you become the best at how you trade. So when I started following this microeconomic news and understanding how the markets work, I then stopped following anything that was saying something that is totally different from the method of trading that I had adopted. So in other words, even the things that I started reading, because obviously when you trade, or when you are doing, it's sports trading, or you are likely to read publications that are related to that. I had subscribed to so many trading websites. Some of them where I don't want to mention trading strategies, because like I said, my channel is not about which strategy is the best or which strategy is not. So I'm not going to mention strategies, but I had subscribed to a whole lot of websites where they were preaching different strategies, different trading methods than the one that I had adopted, which is following my 3Ws. So I also had to unsubscribe from that, because what is the use of me trying to master my art, but I am also following other methods? It is impossible. It will be impossible for me to master this method if I am still from time to time going back to the other methods. I had to make up my mind. I always say that if you want to win, you must win it in your mind first. If you want to win any better, you win it in your mind first. Then you come back and you try to win it in the physical. So for me, I had to make up my own mind. I have traded like this. I have tried so many things for the past 3 years, which was between 2009 and 2012, and I was now in 2012. And now I had to decide that moving forward, this is how I want to trade. So there was no use for me to going back to the stuff that I had decided that no, it didn't work for me. No, it didn't, it didn't work for me. So I had to drop everything. So after dropping everything, it wasn't always easy. at some point I kept on going back. I kept on switching from this method to the old methods that I knew that they didn't work for me. But sometimes when I felt like, oh, I think I'm not getting it right, then I would switch back to, wasting, of course, my own time. But it started with me making up my own mind and saying, this is how I want to trade, and this is how I'm going to trade starting from today onwards. And then I started reading publications that were now supporting my method of trading. I had to unsubscribe from all the websites where I had subscribed, all the publications where I had subscribed. I had to unsubscribe myself, because obviously, when you are subscribed, you get emails almost every day. Unless if you are subscribed to my blog, I don't bother you that much, guys. I only just post like once in a while. But when you are subscribed, because I'm subscribed to a lot of things, sometimes you get like your daily market, updates, daily roundups. I had to sit down and look at all the subscriptions that I had, then see, is this one supporting how I would like to trade now? If it is, it stays. If it isn't, remove. Then I did that. Then I cleaned up my space. Then I went back to my charts. I cleaned up everything that was not supporting my newly adopted method of trading. Then I started trading. Was it easy? Definitely not. But what made it easy was that I had no distraction. I was following my 3 W's. I then also started to watch business news. Then watching business news, it was making me happier because these people were speaking my language. These people were kind of like, so it was like me enhancing my knowledge or enhancing my trading method. Then I started watching, business news, and I followed all the business publications. Then I followed the central banks, and I subscribed to, publications that were supportive of how I was, of how I wanted to trade. Then following my 3 W's, I know that if I watch business news, I will know the reason why I should be trading ABC. And I will know when to trade ABC. And I will know what to trade, because obviously I'm following these. Then it became easier for me. And then another thing that I did, I stopped following forex groups that were not, actually I stopped them altogether, because I'm going to be honest with you. With the forex groups, the thing is, most of the time you won't find like educational posts, but mostly you will just find posts that are telling you about this is how much you are making, this is how much you can make, trading signals, etc., and some bragging, not some bragging, lots and lots and lots of just bragging about money and possessions and flashy lifestyle. So I wasn't about that. I wanted to gain the knowledge. So I had to remove myself from those groups, because this was me trying to find a way to master my art. And if I was in a group and I wasn't getting that in that specific group, then move on. Then that's what I did. I removed myself from forums. I removed myself from forex groups. I removed myself from everywhere. Then I kind of like isolated myself. But I isolated myself and I was only left with these, publications, websites, and also just I had started watching the news and understanding the news and reading more and learning more about the interest rates and learning more about monetary policies and learning more about, a whole lot of things that are happening in the markets that people tend to just ignore. Then I had to focus on that. Then it became easier for me to focus. That's how I started. But then fast forward to today, why haven't I changed how I trade? Because it works for me, it accommodates my lifestyle, and the more I do it, is the more I get better and better. So why would I go back and switch? Because like I said, I used to switch back. Switching is very dangerous because you are adopting a new trading method. You use it for like 3 months, then you don't see results, then you go back to the other, then you don't see results, and sometimes you come back to this one, then you don't see results, and you switch back to the other one again. So switching is very, very, very time consuming. It can also be very costly, because as you switch, you keep on losing money. Sometimes people do not only just switch strategies, they also just switch mentors, man. They switch coaches, they keep on switching. And they never find themselves in a space where they can say, this is how I have learned how to trade, and I have mastered it. Because learning is good, but you also don't want to be a master of all trading strategies, but a jack of all trading strategies, but you master none. You want to have that trading strategy that that this one you master. I master my own trading strategy. You can wake me up in the middle of the night at midnight and say, Tommy, here's the statement, what's going on here? I will definitely tell you what's going on, because I have been doing it repeatedly. So another thing that is kind of like, an advantage for me with the method of trading that I'm using is that it is not random. So I know very well that this is when I will be trading. Like I said, I'm following my 3 W's. So I know this is what I will be trading, and this is when I will be trading. So I always just wait for that, for that day to come, then I will then trade. So because I trade like that, the things that I trade, one country does like interest rate 12 times per year. Some they do them 8 times per year. So it simply means I do the same thing for like 8 times. I trade the central bank for like eight times per year. I trade maybe employment change like 12 times per year. So these things are the things that I am doing repeatedly. So obviously the more I do them is the more I get better and better and better at doing them. So if you want to get better at how you trade, you definitely need to stick to one trading method. But of course, I'm not saying just learn one trading method and don't explore. But don't be stuck in the world of exploring, because unfortunately, while you are exploring with money, and it can be very frustrating. So try to explore. I think I overdid the exploring thing. 3 years was too long. But of course, at that time, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coach. I was just trying to do this all by myself. So it took me longer. But if you have someone who is assisting you, if you have a personal coach, you have a personal mentor who is assisting you, who is assisting you, then you are kind of like getting a shortcut, because you don't have to actually go through a whole 3 years to try to find something that works. Let me say, for an example, people who come to my class, I am only teaching them what I know, how I trade, and what works for me. So basically, I'm just giving them a tried and tested method. So I'm just giving it to them as it is. It's easier than me, trying to find my own way on my own. That is why it took me 3 years. So if you find someone like that who can like give you a tried and tested method, then you stick to it. Then you start practicing it. Nothing beats practicing, guys. The more you practice is the more you become better at it. So obviously there are a whole lot of other things that you will need to deal with, like your emotions and stuff. But strategy wise and the method of trading that you use, you are going to get better at it if you continue just using it. Because it's easier to sit down and look at your notes and see, where do I need to improve? What is it that I'm missing? Because you've been doing this thing for, don't be trading a strategy for like 3 months, then you drop it because you think it doesn't work. You cannot say something doesn't work when you've only tried it for 3 months, and a whole 3 months you were doing it on demo. You cannot say that strategy doesn't work. I think you need to give it more time. Give it more time so that you can also, but there's also, that thing that you will need to do from your part. Take notes. If you are trading exactly the same way, you take notes. That is why we keep trading journals, because in your trading journal, that's where you keep notes, so that you can go back. Like this past Friday, there was non-farm payrolls. In America, they were releasing their employment stats. It is something that they do every first Friday of the month. So we do that for like 12 times a year. So by the time you are doing it for the third time, or by the time you are trading your fourth one, your fourth NFP of the year, definitely you should have, some notes to compare. How did you do it the first time? How did it go for the second time? What is it that you think you can do better next time? That is what a trading journal is all about. It is all about jotting down everything that you think is important, so that you can compare notes. If there's some scenarios, that you will need to compare, maybe this is what happened, on the previous NFP, you compare your notes with the one maybe of 2 months ago, then you are going to end up like, mastering it. But if you are going to test one trading strategy, you go and you get nervous and you make a loss and you drop it, you go and you learn another strategy. There is absolutely no reason why you should switch from one strategy to another. I have been trading using the same trading method for like, I don't know how many years now, but from 2012. And I never looked back. The only thing that I do is to keep up with the current, market conditions. Like now, I had to do some learning, regarding the current market conditions, because in my entire career of trading, I've never seen anything like COVID that came and interrupted with all the global economies. I've never seen anything like that. It was my first time. So there's always going to be that thing that you will need to keep up with. That if you have adopted a method of trading that is stable for you, this one is stable for me, then it's easier for you to just keep up. You just keep on learning more just to keep up with the current conditions. Because one thing that I can tell you is that the markets are evolving. How the markets were 5 years ago, they are not the same now. Last year, all central banks, they went on a rate cutting spree. It is something that has never happened. It happened because there is, suddenly there was a crisis, COVID crisis. So the markets are evolving. You also need to just keep up, but within your trading method. Then you become the master. You need to learn your trading method and do it. When you do something so good that you become the best. It is possible, but it is only possible if you are going to give it time, you are going to practice, you are going to stop switching, you are going to give it your all, and you are going to try and go back and obviously you are going to make mistakes, and mistakes are costly. You are going to lose some money as you make mistakes. Then when you make such mistakes, and you will make mistakes. That is why we have money management and risk management things, in trading, because we know that you are definitely going to make mistakes. So when you make those mistakes, you shouldn't be going through a margin call. Though I'm going to do a whole episode on how to avoid margin call, because I think I've got vast experience on that one. I've had countless margin calls, but yeah, I'm going to do an episode on that. So there is absolutely no reason why you should be going through a margin call if you have your money management well checked, your risk management well checked, and also your trading method, and understanding why you trade like you do. So yeah, that's all that I wanted to say, guys, today. So go back to your trading strategies. I know that with most trading methods, it is impossible to plan around them, because most of them are just random. You just randomly go and check if you can have, you can find some trading opportunities. But your trading method that you are currently using, if it is working for you, stop switching. If you make a loss today, that is not a reason to switch back to, or to switch to another strategy. Stop switching. and focus on how you trade. I stopped switching and I focused on how I trade. One last thing, I just want to tell you, why did I even choose this method of trading? I've already told you that it is because it is accommodative, my lifestyle and my personality. But another thing that makes it to make sense to me, it is because, when you are trading in the markets, you are in a car, you are driving, and if you are only just going to focus, that's how I view it, that's my personal view. If you are only going to focus on the charts, it's like you are trying to drive, but you are ignoring your side mirrors, you are not checking your blind spots. Blind spots are things like, there's some interest rate happening, there's some unemployment stats happening somewhere, and you have no idea that those things are happening. That is why most people go through a matching call, because with their amazing strategies, they tend to get hit by a surprise, because the strategy is amazing, but the thing is, when this thing happens, everything changes. Then they will always be hit by a surprise, and when they are hit by the surprise, they blame it on their strategy. If they use indicators, they blame it on their indicators. Then they go and they switch. Then the cycle continues. But if you can learn how the markets work, that's what I did. I decided to learn how the markets work so that I should not be this trader who is just driving and looking forward, but I'm not focusing on my blind spots. I don't know who's doing interest rate. I don't know what is a central bank. If someone asks me what is a monetary policy, I have no idea what they are talking about, but I have invested a lot of money in the markets. The markets are all about understanding things. Like, you don't have to be an economist, but understand things like, when they say someone is cutting the interest rate, how are you affected? Don't be this person who is always hit by surprise. Then you are now posting everywhere. You just blew your account again. It's your daily life. You do this daily. When you make money, you are happy, but you are kind of like feeling like, or you just feel lucky because you have no idea how you made it. If you know how the money was made, you are going to look out for similar opportunities in the future so that you can repeat it. That is how you keep yourself stable in the markets. I think I should do another episode on how to stay stable. Maybe. But thank you so much, guys. Oh wow, I've talked for like 26 minutes. Thank you so much for listening. I know it is not easy to listen to my voice because it tend to be like a bit low, but try to use earphones, headphones. I know I can be very difficult to be listened to, but I appreciate your listenership. Thank you so much for the feedback that you always give. Thank you for sharing these episodes. And if you have any suggestion of something that you would like me to talk about, feel free to suggest. If it is something that it is aligned with how I do my trading thing, then I'm going to definitely do an episode. Like the previous episode on personal development, it wasn't my idea, but someone suggested it, and gladly I did it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in again. Please do enjoy your Sunday and take care.